There is a business model called a worker cooperative. A worker cooperative is a business that is owned and controlled by its workers. Workers manage the business democratically, either by voting directly or by electing representatives. Workers have access to profits. Worker cooperatives exist. They are out there and they function. The worker cooperative is a perfectly effective business model. The government should introduce financial incentives to encourage this business model. We should incentivize worker-owned and controlled business models by making such businesses eligible for tax cuts and preferential contracts. Worker cooperatives should be made eligible for a range of special financial incentives. Eligibility standards will include democratic processes and shared profits. This policy seeks to expand democratic values into the workplace. It is an absurdity that our society holds democracy to be a high value while expecting people to endure dictatorial conditions and autocratic structures every time that they enter the workplace. If we truly believe that people should have a say in the decisions that impact them, then workplace democracy is a necessity. Such a policy ensures that those who control businesses are held to account and regulated by those who face the consequences of their decisions. Such a policy encourages workers to think far more deeply about business, getting more minds involved in the economy. By giving workers a voice, such a policy encourages the questioning of authority and helps to ensure that those who make big decisions are held accountable by those who their decisions will affect. Such democratization measures also ensure that no individual holds enough power so as to be corrupted and consumed by it. Such a policy discourages decision-making that hurts and endangers workers by giving workers a say in those decisions. The workplace should be a democracy, not a dictatorship. This policy eliminates the severe power imbalances that currently exist between employers and employees. These power imbalances create ideal conditions for the mistreatment and exploitation of workers. This policy will move us towards the abolition of these destructive power imbalances. Workers should not be utterly reliant on vulnerable structures such as trade unions. Union breaking will be far harder if the union is the business. Many consider unions to be the solution to the flaws of capitalism. Worker control over and ownership of the workplace is a far more effective solution. Unions allow workers to have a fighting chance in the clash of interests between workers and business owners. Worker ownership abolishes this conflict altogether. Giving workers a fighting chance is not good enough. We should seek a world where economic affairs are not characterized by an eternal conflict of class interests. This conflict is detrimental to economic productivity and the well-being of all. Worker ownership gets employees invested in their workplace and interested in its financial success. Sharing in the profits maximizes the power of the profit motive and encourages efficiency and innovation on the part of all workers. Worker ownership ensures that hard work is encouraged and rewarded by giving workers access to and control over profits. Workers will be encouraged to work harder and smarter when they have direct access to and control over the fruits of their labor. In current times, businesses are torn apart and dominated by strife originating from the conflicting interests of those who work the means of production and those who own and control the means of production. Worker ownership of and control over the means of production allows this destructive conflict to be reconciled, helping to maximize the efficiency of firms which will no longer be at war with themselves. The economy should not be defined by class conflict. The economy should not be at war with itself. The economy should be a place of cooperation and camaraderie. We need an economy by and for the workers. The workplace should not be a place of degrading powerlessness. The workplace should be a place of empowerment. Give workers power over their own workplaces, and it can be. Such a policy will significantly reduce the hierarchy that characterizes economic relations, decreasing inequalities and the dehumanizing nature of a powerless life at the bottom. Such a policy leaves workers feeling empowered and valued, improving human well-being as people get to view themselves as a meaningful component of their workplace as opposed to just another cog in the machine. We have a government by and for the people. We should have an economy by and for the workers. This policy represents the first step of the march towards that noble destination. This is a left-wing policy that would transform our society. The working people of New Zealand should not languish in a state of degrading powerlessness. The working people of New Zealand should not be at the mercy of their employers. The working people should have a say in the decisions that impact their lives. We claim to value democracy. Yet how democratic can a society really be when major decisions are made by unelected business owners and unaccountable CEOs? We need workplace democracy. We need worker cooperatives. We need an economy that is by and for the working class.